If you know this lady, you know what a character she is. Chef Sully, as some call her Sully, some call her a lot of different names, but I call her my friend, and I love Jill Sullivan with all my heart. And I've been honored to have her in two, I keep wanting to call them episodes because of my film and television, but they are episodes, two editions of Rattled Awake. And in volume two, the international #1 international bestseller, Jill, you shared a story about Grandma Joan, your mom, and I originally wanted to say, why, but then what was the why behind it? That's what I really wanted to ask you for wanting to share that. What was your motivation?
As difficult as it was, because I was in the middle of taking care of her, and she ended up passing away 3 months after I wrote that. I had written, I had written the anthology #1 and really dug it. It was so much fun. Um, 1 and 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, had a good time, and you taught me so much, Lonnie, and were so patient with me. You even gave me a few extra days to finish it, but I thought, and you had mentioned, why don't you write about your mom, and all the things that you're going through. And so I think in the scheme of life, we all just want to be leaders and show people that they can do it also, and that it's not that hard. And a lot of people have never been in a book or been in a chapter, and that's something that I had never done before, and I wanted to do that. But when you mentioned to write about my mother, it was a very tender and dear to my heart subject.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write about all of the things that I went through taking care of her. For one thing, I had to drive 3.5 hours away just to spend the week with her. It was no easy task. And then come home and take care of my stuff at home. And my mom was she wasn't really Alzheimer's, but she was slipping a bit, and she would repeat things a lot. And talk about difficult to be there and listen to that repeated story over and over.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And but I just wanted to also write it to have some fun stories to share. I wrote 3 fun stories that I thought were funny to me. Um,
I remember you're like, is this funny? It is to
yeah,
me. And I said,
there there was one of the last stories. Can I tell where and my mom and I had like great banter. Like she knew my personality was, like I would pop off with the different things that could
snarky,
sound cocky. Yeah, that's me.
snarky.
Snarky. But
Wow.
so was my mom. And like we used to just have fun
Where,
banter.
where
It
do you
was
think
fun.
you got it from?
I I don't know. I mean, don't take life too serious. So when she was getting in the car, I was putting the seatbelt around her, and she also had the oxygen in her nose. So it was kind of difficult. So I
Yeah.
was reaching over and I accidentally pulled the seatbelt across her face. And she looks at me, she says, ouch. And then I told her, I said, shut up and sit down, old lady. And then she said, oh, you're such a smart ass. And then we just started laughing. And then I looked behind me to make sure nobody was watching because,
Older abuse.
yeah, parent
Girl.
abuse. But that's how my mom was. And I wanted to write, that we had some good times and we used to play Scrabble all the time. And we actually had a Scrabble game that her mom gave her and they used to play.
Oh,
And so I have that now.
oh
And I'll probably
wow.
pass it down to my daughter. But there's good in time, bad times taking caretaking your parent, but it's so worth it.
And isn't it something, Jill, that, sadly you lost your mom a few months later, but that you got this done and she got to read it. She got to see.
Yeah. And
And
I've given it to pretty much all of my family, my close family members.
oh,
And
it's a big
I kind of,
deal.
at the ending of both of my chapters, I dedicated it. You know, you can dedicate it to somebody, and I dedicated it to my mom, Grandma Joan, the candy lady who always had a bowl of candy for all of her grandkids. And she was just so unselfish and caring. And I wanted to write that about her to make sure that, you know, um, mostly from, for myself too.
Yeah.
And so I could have those memories.
Yeah. Yeah, it was perfect timing. And you did a great job.
Thanks,
And
Lonnie.
yeah, I'm so happy that you've been part of the Rattled Awake movement and you continue to, reinvent your life. Um, you're not really retired, you just switched gears. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. And I always say in the quiet times, God gives you revelation to your next avenue that you should go. And then he led me to you. Again, we've been on and off friends forever. And right, I told you that. Yeah. And means a lot to me. And your friendship means a lot to me too.
ditto girl, big time. I still have the card you sent me looking at me right there.
Which one?
Today's
Well,
just for you. And it came with salted caramel.
yeah.
I want more.
Well, that stuff's good, huh?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, you're the best, and I
Okay.
am so happy that the divinity brought us together and keeps us together, Jill. You're the
Thanks,
best.
Lonnie, for everything and for showing me that anything's possible and writing a chapter is possible in 3 days. I had the best time. It was so
I'm
fun.
so glad you did because you